Evening adventurers and DMs. This is Thactotem with a little bit of a introduction to some of my mapping and how I've made dungeon maps. So I'm using a little bit of Dungeon Scrawl to show some of this off, but this is one example of 4 that I'll show you this evening. This is a small dungeon, and this is using a technique that I use to generate a dungeon. So you can put the entrance either here or more than one entrance. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 room dungeon with connections and routes around that you can loop through, so it's not a linear dungeon. But see if you can recognize some of the features of dungeon number 2. This is some expansion and development of the design from the previous one. You can see now that I've made hallways between the individual rooms, and so that this no longer serves the purpose of a single hallway between the 4 other rooms. It's actually got a larger variety of rooms to actually work with. But expanding even further, this, believe it or not, as much as it looks like an entirely different creation, is the same layout done slightly differently. And Dungeon Style 4 is, again, the same layout with hallways and expanded slightly with room numbers. And all of them are derived using a set of tiles that I've handmade for use on my own table or floor that build the layout like this. So each one of these is designed off of this layout, and this is all the tiles, so each one of these is a set shape. We have the angle, straight, and 3-pointed portions. I may develop a few pieces that are 4-pointed plus signs so that I can actually expand my capabilities. I've used these tiles for a few other things, but it's interesting to note that you can take it so far as to do this. Notice this is the pathway layout, and this is the room layout. This hallway between rooms is the path layout. Whereas this one here, each one of these right angle pieces, so you come in, this is a straight one, this is a right angle piece, this is a straight one, this is a right angle piece, this is a straight one, straight one, straight one, straight one, this is a 3-pointer, this is an angle piece, straight, 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 straight. So the expansion of these rooms it really does change the look of the layout. This one's a little more obviously the same. You got the hallways, that's the path that the tiles laid out, and the rooms filled in the spaces in between. Whereas in this case, the path that the tiles laid out are actually the walls of the structure. So those are some of my designs for how I do some map making and expand the opportunities each design I come up with has for building some dungeon layouts. I've used some of these tiles for doing overland maps. You can kind of see how maybe you could do positions for some of that. I will do more on that in another video. I'm looking at other opportunities for what I can do with these tiles to expand map making and world design. Hopefully that's interesting and useful to you tonight. I'm not particularly good at these style of videos, but if you want me to expand on some of my ideas further, I will be happy to do so. Ask any questions you have, any comments. I will catch you later and hope you have a spectacular evening.